Okay, I'm so sorry for not really uploading much, and I completely, I really do feel sorry for those people who really do like my channel, because I respect those people who really do care. But today, I want to tell you guys a bit of a story. Now, the last one I did was somewhat complicated. Like extremely complicated to the point where I didn't know what to believe in anymore. So I said, okay, since I'm a furry, of course, everyone has their story behind how they've managed to find the furry fandom. And I thought, screw it. I won't mind kinda won't mind actually explaining my story behind it. Although it will be a little bit complicated to some, it'll be kind of interesting for those people who have their own stories. For example, like some people would say that they found the bony fandom first, and then found the furry fandom right after, or other ways, if you know what I mean. But this one's gonna be a little bit more down to the T with me. Okay, so this happened all from the start of my high school years, and I was a bit of a lonely chap. I was a very, very lonely person. I had friends, but every time I hanged out with them, they sometimes wouldn't be bothered to talk to me about stuff or had anything to talk about. So I was mostly by myself. And then I heard about these guys. In fact, actually, I found out about these guys in my secondary school year, but I didn't really knew much about them. I just loved the design of the characters, of course. Obviously, from FNAF 1 to FNAF 2, and all the way up to FNAF 3, where I was in high school. And I enjoyed the story behind it all. Another thing turned up as well as when I hit my secondary school years, and that was the Smiler at Alton Towers. Now, I'm not saying that at the time I just immediately fell in love with it. At first, I wasn't actually a major fan of it. I actually despised the idea of it. Going around loops and turns every corner, every second, it just got annoying, and I didn't really like it. I didn't really understood the appeal of it. Until I actually looked into some YouTube videos about the backstory behind it, the building process, the concept behind it, including these guys as well. As I looked into the backstory of how they came to be. I was impressed. I was actually amazed. I was somewhat skeptical about it at first, but I was like, oh, bloody hell, this has a bit more story than I thought. As most things nowadays, of course you got fucking story to go to back it up, because that's just how it is nowadays. You can't just say, oh, I'm enjoying this because of no reason. There's more of a reason for it. It's gotta be somewhat of a story behind it. So, at first, it was the FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's type of ordeal. I loved the idea, I loved the games, I loved the games, the fan games that kind of, gave it a bit more of a beating heart. I love FNAF World, I love the story books, the books that they brought up, the novels. Actually, in fact, I'm actually currently still reading one of them right now, so I'm like, thank you. If you didn't know, back in, before I confirmed I was, again, a furry, I was mostly this. I was mostly into Five Nights at Freddy's. But, I was, again, this was back in high school. This is when I confirmed I was actually a furry. But I didn't told anyone, because I did not know what other people would think. Because at the time, I was somewhat paranoid with the possibility of how many people would despise me if that's the case. So basically what happened was, sorry for the long pause, basically what happened was I met a YouTuber by the name of Beauty of the Base. And of course, you know where this has gone to. I immediately loved the idea, the concept of the furry fandom, pretty much immediately on the spot. I wanted to be part of this so much. I'll do anything to get any, like, those fursuits. And this is why I'm kind of trying to somewhat save up for it. I am generally trying to. I'm not gonna, like, say who I'm gonna be going after, like what fursuit maker I'm gonna be going after, because it's kind of obvious. I'm going after Beauty of the Base Creations because I fucking love the design of them. Obviously, it's kind of obvious. You can see now why I really do like the fandom so much, including my friends that I hanged out with every so often. It's amazing. I would recommend it to anyone. Just don't hang out with a certain few couple of people, because that's where you're gonna ruin any form of love towards the fandom. Now, personally with me, I'll give you many recommendations. I'll give you any tips. Of course, me, because I fucking love the fandom. I'm actually somewhat honest. I'll try and give up as much information as I can. And hell, in the furry fandom, what most people would say, they sometimes can't be true. Sometimes they're not true. Sometimes they are just BS that most people would say. And it's just hysterical when people say, oh, you have this, and then you realise that there's some problems with that and this, and issues with some of these bits and bobs. Trust me, all I'm going to say is that if you're going to be in the fandom, just go towards someone that you can trust about it. Also, well, let's just say this. As I joined the fandom, I wanted my character to be originally something a little bit simplistic. And he was, what the original idea of him was actually he was going to be a fox. Because at the time, I watched Zootopia. And of course, he was actually supposed to be a fox, but then I changed him into a wolf, because wolves is my favourite animal. Wolves are wolves, who doesn't love wolves? But, anyways, going back to the story, I designed Smaller Wolf as more of a copy and paste to Beauty of the Base, and I did not really want to do that. I wasn't really that much of a guy. I don't like copying other people, because if I did, then it makes me feel bad, and I don't want to really ruin other people's ideas of how everything can work. So I designed Smaller Wolf to be a little bit more simplistic, yet complex at the same time. He's obviously a standard wolf, but I gave his story a lot more of a backstory behind his character, why he looks like this, and heck, it took me quite a while to kind of get the design right, because I got the story done first, and then the proper design right. It's generally, at first, it's a pain in the arse, I'll give you that, but it gets better and better as time goes on. If you do more artwork for yourself, or commission people to do your artwork, then voila! It makes more sense if you actually somewhat know what you're doing. At the moment, I'm a proper artist, and I try to do as much as I can when it comes to my characters, but unfortunately I'm a very slow drawer at times. I'm currently working on One Piece right now, and I should have finished it last week, so I feel a little bit stupid for that. It's the same thing with this video. I should have somewhat uploaded it literally yesterday, but I completely forgot about doing that. It's because of the whole lockdown procedure, that's it really. With COVID-19 and all that stuff, I've lost a bit of balance. Anyways, let's just continue along to the main subject, because I just halted and just went to a completely different other direction. Basically, I joined the fandom and made Smile Wolf into what he is supposed to be, and he's supposed to be basically somewhat like a Beauty of the Base, except a lot more mascot-like for the Smiler roller coaster at Alton Towers. And that was the main real inspiration for Smiler Wolf. Not FNAF. He was originally going to be an animatronic at first, but then I didn't really like it. It got a bit... It didn't really work out that well. I explained the idea to some of my friends, they did not like it, they didn't really appreciate the... They didn't really understood the idea of it, so I just went, oh, that's fine, I'll just go ahead and do something a little bit more different. So, I decided to do the Smiler roller coaster kind of theme. And trust me, it's kind of easy. It's much more easier if you actually base on something that you really do like. FNAF I love. The Smiler on the other hand, rough start and all, but bloody hell, I had a massive crush on it immediately. I fell in love with the ride instantaneously as soon as I entered that ride. I felt so skeptical at first, and then I realized how beautifully made it was. I understood it now. I didn't just went, oh shit, it's just some stupid ride that some dumbass from the UK made. Oh no, no. It's better than you think. It's much more better than you think. It's insane. And that's why I love it so much. Most people would say that, oh, they got inspired because of what their hobbies are. I just got inspired by the things I actually do generally love. And that's it. The things I enjoy, like going on, like roller coasters, playing games like FNAF, watching like videos of YouTubers, not YouTubers, but people doing role plays of FNAF and stuff like that. And then I watched Beauty of the Base's videos. I fell in love immediately. In fact, if you wanted to question me on like who's my first crush, even though that I'm somewhat gay, I will immediately say Beauty of the Base, because I just love the design of her. I wanted to kind of copy her at first for the complex designs. But anyways, that's kind of it, I'm afraid. I haven't got any much other stuff to say really, because it's like I want to try and get more out of there, but unfortunately I don't want to kind of get into a bit of a upsetting state. Because at the moment, I'm dealing with someone at the moment who's being a bit of a prick. Not the family members, just don't mind them. A friend of mine, and it was from a video that I did previously, and I deleted that video for one reason, and that's because I did not want to have drama. Assuming that he cares about drama, I heavily doubt that. But anyways, I'll happily try and do another version of that video, because there's a lot of stories behind the guy that I'm on about. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video, you guys. Like, subscribe, comment down below if you have your own stories of how you joined the fandom, in any sort of fandom's case. Anything from the Brony fandom to furry fandom to other fandoms, including these guys' fandoms. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. By the way, stay safe and stay indoors. Trust me, it would help out a lot, especially in the state that the world is in. Thank you very much, you guys.